Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to the Real Results Show. I am your host, Piper Gibson, Director of Course Enrollment for FDN, and today we are going to be talking to Shannon Plummer about the importance of lifestyle stress. I am super excited to have Shannon here with me. She is a fellow New Mexican, so New Mexico in the house today. If you guys are ready to jump in, type the word stress in the video, below the video. We are going to send you our physiological aspects of stress chart. You want to grab this chart because it's a great way to look at how stress affects all of the body systems. So type the word stress into the chat right below the video. Shannon, how are you today?
I'm doing really well. I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, I'm super excited to have you on the show today and really talk about your experience as an FDN and to talk about stress and really how it affects our life and our lifestyle. So I would love to just jump in and talk a little bit about how you became an FDN. What prompted you to be an FDN?
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting story. This was back in, 2008, 9, something like that. I had just finished acupuncture school, and I had struggled with my health pretty much my whole life at that time. One of the reasons I went to acupuncture school actually is because I was so interested in health and natural ways to heal the body. But I had graduated and I had a baby at the time. And so I just thought, I'm going to just continue to work on my health, be a new mom. And so with my acupuncture license, I started to run some functional labs on myself. And a couple of those labs were labs that FDN used at the time. And who did I get as a clinical advisor at BioHealth? Reed Davis.
Of course. Of course you did.
Yes, and just my luck, right? Because, as an acupuncturist, I wasn't trained in functional lab work. And so I didn't really know. That's why I was calling BioHealth to get an interpretation of a 205. And when he started, interpreting it, of course, he mentioned FDN and metabolic typing, and I jumped right on it. He was so inspiring in the way he talked about it. It made sense to me. So, gosh, I didn't really need any time to sign up, take FDN, take metabolic typing, and one of the reasons I'm so passionate about it is it changed my health. It changed my health in literally a month or two, because I was pre-diabetic at the time. I was so tired. I was a new mom, so I had a lot of stress, and I just finished acupuncture school. So, a lot of stress in my life at the time. And I didn't really, it sounds silly, but I didn't really have the strategies to really understand what stress meant until I studied FDN. So I was off and running, and the rest is history, really.
Well, when did you graduate from the course?
Probably it was around 2000, maybe 2011, 12-ish. Something like that.
Wow. Yes, so the FDN course has been around 12 years, so you are one of the original longtime FDNers.
Yeah, and I'm so impressed with what FDN has now. It was great what I had back then, but Reed would do the slides, and we'd meet at certain times every week, and he'd go over them. I actually had my final with Reed at the time. So it didn't have all the bells and whistles that it has now, but now being an FDN mentor, I'm like, wow, so impressed. All the things that the students have access to, and it's just really, really fantastic to see to kind of be in at the ground and have come all this way, and now to see it today, what it is, it's really amazing, amazing, amazing.
Well, and what I love is that even you know, I graduated in 2018, but even you being an FDN so long, like you still now as a practitioner have access to all of those updated bells and whistles, everything that Reed has put into the course in the past 12 years.
Yeah. So fortunate because it's ever evolving. And I find even now, my understanding gets deeper and deeper, and partly from clinical experience. As you work with people, you start to see patterns and understanding of people's behavior. It's really just fascinating because the functional lab work is really, giving us a picture. I like to talk about lab work like it tells a story about that person, and help them to see what kind of stress they're under. And then, you know, I like to work with people in programs over a period of time, because it's not a quick fix. You know, it's not like that. It's teaching people really how to take the best care of themselves so they can feel good. And my intention is always so they can live a happy life. You know, when you feel good in your body,
Yeah.
You live a happier life.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
I would love to know how you incorporate FDN into your acupuncture practice. Do you do them together? Are they a separate entity? Like, how do you work the both of them?
Yeah, that has evolved too. It's been such an evolution of how I have worked with FDN. Originally, I now have a home office here, but originally I had an office, and I worked with skincare, because one of the things that I I had at the time was I had severe, not just a little acne, a lot of acne, like boils. But through FDN and metabolic typing, I was able to resolve that. So what I did in my practice is I thought, okay, I'm going to work with the needles and functional lab work. And I also did topical skincare. So I worked with the skin, I had the needles in the body. I'd run labs. So after their session was over, we'd go over lab work, recommend some lifestyle practices, and some supplements to go forward with. And I would just kind of layer in the labs as they would come in. They come in monthly to do that. And at the time, my business was called Beauty Through Balance. So that's how it first started. But my love of FDN grew, and metabolic typing. And so now actually I don't practice acupuncture. I practice FDN exclusively, and I use my knowledge from my training in acupuncture. You know, if I see something, I think about it from a Chinese medicine perspective. But now I really enjoy working from my home. Being able to, my daughter's 17, and FDN allows me to possibly, you know, make a move in a year if I wanted to, because I can take my career anywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love it.
Well, and I do have to say that your skin looks amazing.
Oh, well, that was a rough time, because I was, when I was practicing, you know, I still was resolving my skin issues. So I had to show up and work with people, even though my skin wasn't perfect, you know, so it was a kind of a hit to my ego, but I did it anyway because I loved it. And eventually, you know, it resolved itself, and I don't have any problems with my skin anymore. And I feel very confident in helping other people to resolve their skin issues now, because of my own process and because of what I learned in FDN.
I would love, yeah, fantastic. If you guys are just starting to watch, I have Shannon Plummer with me today, and we are talking about stress and stress in your having to deal with your lifestyle. So if you are just joining us, drop the word stress below the video, and we are going to send you our physiological aspects chart fantastic way to get a really broad overview of what is going on when your body is under stress. So make sure to drop the word stress so that you can get a copy of that chart. Shannon, I would love to dig into the fact that you are an FDN mentor. So I would love to share with everybody what you do as a mentor for FDN.
Oh my gosh. I love this role. I love working with the students and watching them grow, because oftentimes they'll book several of their practical exams with the same mentor. And even if not, I'm just fully present in that moment, listening to their exam and guiding them and watching them just really become fantastic practitioners. It's just an amazing evolution to watch someone be practical number one, which is their very first one, and then, you know, all the way to the verbal final. To watch that growth and that learning is, it's amazing. That's my absolute 100% favorite part.
That's awesome. So I would love to talk a little bit more about stress and how stress really affects the body, and how people, individuals, health coaches are really dealing with stress. So what has been your experience with working with clients and dealing with stress?
You know, I think that people they hear the word stress and they think that it's just out there. And it is out there, but the thing is that stress, there's so many components to stress. It could be relationship, financial, career, kids, you know, that could be stress. But also what could be stress, and is always, could be blood sugar, could be food sensitivities, could be pathogens. There's internal stress, inflammation. That, you know, when we hear the word stress, that's not something that people usually think about. And as FDNs, we were thinking about what kind of external stress is this person under, and what kind of internal stress is this person under. And that's where the lab work comes in. We get to see how the stress is impacting their body. And so I think we need to broaden the term of stress. It's literally everywhere. And now we have, you know, like perceived stress is also a stress. Like we're all kind of not unsure of the environment right now. So we're worried or we're unsure. That's stress. And that's affecting people too. So I think it's just that stress is a lot more than what we think of when we say the word stress, in my opinion.
I agree. And that's one of the big things that we talk about as health coaches, is that you're looking for those hidden stressors, which is one of those reasons that we utilize the lab testing with our clients, is to really kind of dig deeper and find those hidden stressors so that we can really help people get back on the healing path.
Right, because otherwise you wouldn't know. You know, a great thing about FDN and the lab work in particular is that it's quantifiable. Right? We have numbers and then we can retest and we can see how those numbers improve. So it really grounds in our work, I believe. I think it's it's just a good foundational piece as a health coach to be able to do that. Because otherwise, somebody might feel better, but you can't really gauge, you know, but you can gauge by the labs. And they're a fantastic tool to help people get from point A to point B.
Yes, that's the way to connect the dots. And I think that's really like a big moment for people when you connect dots and it's like, oh.
Yeah, exactly. It's so fun. The light bulb moments that go on, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. And it gives them clarity, because people, you know, my clients that I work with, they're confused about their health. You know, they don't get why, because, you know, they've usually gone to practitioner after practitioner after practitioner, and they're just like still don't really have a direction. FDN gives you a direction, you know. Well, for myself, I know their metabolic type, so I know what foods, are best for them, and I work with those macronutrient ratios. And then, I'm looking at a stress and hormone panel, I'm looking at a GI map, and I'm seeing like, oh my gosh, look at this, and giving clear direction, and then asking them about their life, in our dress protocol, because we want to know the other pieces. We want to know the diet, the rest. How are they moving their body, exercise? How are they managing stress? And what supplements are appropriate given what we saw on the labs? So it's just a very clear roadmap, and people get better. People get better.
You mentioned working with your clients. Do you have an ideal client that you work with?
I do. And that's also changed as I have changed as a practitioner. But the age range that I'm currently working with mostly, or who I'm sort of marketing to, is a woman 50 and older. I love this population because, they've been around the bend, they've come to the point where they're just like, I'm ready to do it. They have time. They have wisdom, so I'm really loving working with this particular group of people.
I love it. And that's one of the really cool things about being a health coach, being a functional health coach, and having this FDN approach is that you can use it with your women who are over 50. I can use it with my families and my kids who are, under 20. So that healing approach really works with everybody.
It does, actually. My 17-year-old told me the other day, she said, "Mom, you're talking to me like you talk to your clients." I'm like, absolutely, because it works. So, it's a lifestyle approach, so what works for a 17-year-old, and that things are going to be different because she struggles in a different way than maybe a 60-year-old woman struggles. But that's the idea. Know your client, know where they struggle, and help them, through your coaching of them to work through their struggle, their stress, their struggles. And, you have your intakes, you have your labs, and you can look at all of that information and get a good picture of these people, whoever it is. That's the beauty also. It's customized, to the person.
So are you full-time, part-time? I know you said you had an office in your home. Are you in-person, virtual, all of the above?
All of the above. What I do is I break up my week. I part-time mentor, part-time my own business. I am fully virtual. So like during this time of COVID, even my Santa Fe clients who will come in person usually, they were able to continue on their program anyway, because, I just said, okay, we're going to do this a little different. I'm going to send you a Zoom link and we're going to meet over Zoom. And, I can have them get their supplements online. And so in my business, nothing really changed. In fact, I would say it grew because people are being woken up to the fact that their health is really important. And so that's been really great to be able to be of service to people, even in this time. They don't need to come to my office. I'm fully capable of working wherever, actually.
If you guys have questions for Shannon, make sure to drop them below the video. We would love to answer any questions that you might have. Shannon, if the people who are watching would like to get in touch with you, do you have a website, social media? How can people find you?
Yeah, I do have a website. It's my name. So it's Shannon, letter C, Plummer, PLUMMER.com. So you can reach out to me there. I also have a Facebook profile. You can reach out to me via Facebook, friend me. I'll certainly accept your request. So those are two ways. On my website, there's a contact me page. I think it says let's connect, actually. So you can send me a little message through there and I'll come right to my email.
Do you have a number one tip, tool, or resource piece of information that you learned from FDN that has made all the difference in your personal health and even as a health professional?
Yes. Listen to your body, because, I work with my clients to listen to their body, because their body will tell them, when you do something better for your body, it will respond. So if you're doing something, like sometimes, I'm working with, or when I worked with a younger clientele, like they'd be exercising and think that it would be a really good thing because we should exercise, right? But they're over exercising and they're really tired after they exercise. That's your body's way of saying it's too much. It's too much given, adrenal function, whatever. Also with food, if something, makes you bloated or makes you really tired, listen to your body and let it guide you to a better state. So hands down, I do that with myself. I teach my daughter that. I teach my clients that. It's such a powerful and I feel like overlooked tool, because a lot of times we're in our mind about our health, and our health is actually in our body.
Yep. I totally agree with that, because I think so many people have this preconceived notion about how you are supposed to feel and what you are supposed to eat and what you are supposed to do. And going through this process, and my kids as well, is really about listening to your body. Well, when you do that, how does that make you feel?
Yes, because the body won't lie to you. The body's amazing. It wants to heal. It actually wants to heal. It just needs the right things. And so to have a practitioner, health coach to help a person, because some people, they don't understand their body, or they're not used to that way of thinking about health. And that's where we come in as FDNs. We can teach people how to listen to their body by working within our dress protocol and helping them to hear what their body's saying. It's really powerful. Something so simple, but people don't really know how to do it. So.
They really don't, and I love to teach people that as well. Sequoia and Gracia have great things to say about you. Sequoia says, Shannon totally rocks.
I remember both of them.
Yes, and Gracia says, so nice to see you, Shannon. I fully agree, as the body does not lie.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Do you have a piece of advice you'd like to share with health coaches and professionals who might be watching right now?
Yeah. If you're interested in health coaching, if you're interested in health for yourself, if you feel like you have a gift in that area to share with people, FDN, it's so amazing. And I'd say, jump in. I mean, now's the time. It's like to create a virtual business now. I mean, you can create if you want to work within your town, that's fine too. But we can all even feel it. The health, we're thinking differently about our health because of the given environment. And so if it's a passion of yours and you feel like, you really want to help people, help yourself, then dive in. I'm so glad that I did years ago, and it's just been such a fortunate thing for me, and I know it's a fortunate thing for the students that I work with and my clients. So it ripples out. So if you have that passion, I'd go for it.
What about people who might be struggling to get results with their own health? Is there some piece of advice you would like to offer them? You could find an FDN practitioner.
But what I would also say, simplify your food, simplify your movement, Make sure you're getting rest. It's like thinking about what makes a body healthy. It's really simple, like food that's grown from the earth, and a body needs to move, and a body needs to relax and rest. We need to sleep. It's one of the most important things because we restore during sleep. And so go back to simplicity. And then if there are underlying issues, then find an FDN that can, support you and run some labs and really customize your program so you can really get the results that you're looking for.
Shannon, thank you so much for coming on the show to share your insights with others about how they can get real long-term sustainable health results for their clients and for themselves. One more time, tell everybody how they can get in touch with you if they are interested.
Yeah, thank you. You can get in touch with me through my website, shannoncplummer.com, and click on the Let's Connect button up in the upper right-hand corner. Also, you can friend me on Facebook, Shannon Plummer. So those are two really good ways to get in touch with me if you're interested.
And everybody that's watching, if you're just watching the replay, make sure to drop the word stress below the video. We are going to send you that physiological aspects guide, and you're not going to want to miss it. So make sure to drop the word stress. Thank you again, Shannon, for coming on today. And thank you, everybody, for watching. If you are interested in finding more out about the FDN course, you can go to functionaldiagnosticnutrition.com/counselor, and we are going to connect with you and help you with a free career counseling session. So thank you again, Shannon. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We will be back here same time, same place next week. New guest. Thank you, Shannon.
Thank you, Piper.
All right. Bye, everybody.